Welcome to another edition of Headlines Nigeria on NITV. Reaching you from Abuja studios in Nigeria, I am Grace Ukot. We at NITV express our sincere condolence with Nigerians home and abroad on the death of late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. May his soul rest in peace. Over now to summaries of Nigerian dailies. As usual, we bring to you summaries of headlines on news, politics, business and sports. And the first paper we'll look at today is Daily Independent. Jonathan sworn in as president. At exactly 9:20 a.m. on Thursday, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan took the oath of office as the president of Nigeria at a brief and solemn ceremony at the council chamber of the presidential villa in Abuja. He became the country's 14th head of state at 52 and its second university-educated leader, the first being President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who died on Wednesday night at 58. Obasanjo, others must account for Yar'Adua's death. Oku, the national chairman of the Citizens Popular Party, Maxi Oku, has accused former President Olusegun Obasanjo and some other persons of being responsible for the death of late President Umaru Yar'Adua. He made the accusation in his condolence message to the family of the late president. Jonathan can seek presidency for 2 more terms. Akeredolu, president of the Nigeria Bar Association, Rotimi Akeredolu, has observed that President Goodluck Jonathan could still contest the nation's presidency for 2 more terms if he so desires. And on Vanguard front page, Nigerians, world leaders mourn Yar'Adua. The world leaders, notable Nigerians and the masses yesterday bid late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua a final farewell as he was interred in his family compound in Katsina, capital of Katsina State. Ture Yar'Adua, a silent but influential first lady. Hajia Ture Yar'Adua was one first lady that was seen but hardly heard. Yet she was perceived to be very influential in government and over her husband, the late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. Part of the speculations about her was that certain decisions believed to be taken by the President Yar'Adua were indeed taken by her. This day newspaper, VP, Gusau, Mark, Yayale, Ribadu are top contenders. With the inauguration yesterday of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan as the 14th president of the country, jostling for the vice presidential slot has begun. The People's Democratic Party, 28 governors elected on its platform, national caucus of the party and other stakeholders are expected to meet over the weekend to decide who would emerge the new vice president. This day gathered that some names have emerged as top contenders for the coveted position. Among them are the Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Alhaji Yayale Ahmed, National Security Advisor Aliyu Gusau, and former Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. Also being seriously considered are Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido and his Niger State counterpart, Dr. Muazu Babangida Ali. The nation mourns as Yar'Adua goes home. As the nation continues to mourn the death of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, his remains were yesterday evening interred at the Dan Marina Cemetery in Katsina. Yar'Adua's body was buried at exactly 5:50 p.m. yesterday, immediately after Sultan of Sokoto Alhaji Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar offered prayers for him at the graveside. And Punch newspaper, violence at Yar'Adua's burial, Jonathan absent. The burial of the remains of former President Umaru Yar'Adua was almost marred by violence on Thursday as hostilities broke out between youths and security agents at the gates of the Katsina Township Stadium. Trouble started when the security agents manning the gates tried to prevent the youths from entering the stadium to witness the burial, which was not attended by the newly inaugurated president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Jonathan, race for vice presidency begins. The death of President Umaru Yar'Adua has thrown up the debate on who will become the vice president to Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, who has since been inaugurated as a substantive president. And leadership newspaper, Yar'Adua family relocates to Katsina. The end has come for the stay of the family of the Yar'Aduas in the prestigious Aso Rock Villa as the former first family yesterday migrated to Katsina with their personal belongings, signifying the end of an era. And moving over to politics, Punch newspaper, my loyalty to Jonathan is total. Ogbulafo. The chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Prince Vincent Ogbulafo, has described his loyalty to President Goodluck Jonathan as total. Ogbulafo stated this in a statement he signed on behalf of the members of the party's National Working Committee to congratulate Jonathan. Lagos PDP describes Yar'Adua as upright. The Lagos State chapter of the People's Democratic Party on Thursday described the late President Umaru Yar'Adua as an upright Nigerian who set a shining example as leader. The publicity secretary of the state chapter of the party, Dr. Wale Ahmed, said Yar'Adua was never called a bad leader by any political party, adding that it was only some of his policies that were condemned. AC hails succession in presidency. The Action Congress has hailed a smooth succession in the presidency following the death of President Umaru Yar'Adua, saying it showed that Nigeria was now on a sound democratic footing and that it was ready to join the Committee of Free Nations. Obasanjo, Babangida, Mark mourn late president. Two former heads of state, Olusegun Obasanjo and Ibrahim Babangida, as well as the Senate President David Mark, on Thursday mourned the death of late President Umaru Yar'Adua. In their condolence messages, they separately described Yar'Adua as courageous, selfless, and faithful to the country. And now, business news. Punch newspaper. Business activities paralyzed. Offices and shops in the busy Lagos Central Business District were shut down on Thursday as a mark of respect for late President Umaru Yar'Adua. At the headquarters of First Bank of Nigeria PLC, United Bank for Africa, Union Bank of Nigeria and Sterling Bank, all located on Marina in central Lagos, only security men were seen on duty. Why Nigeria's tax system is weak. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria on Thursday explained why the country's tax system was weak despite series of reforms. It said that the low rate of tax education, over-dependence on revenue from natural resources, as well as ineffectiveness in the tax administration process were major reasons for the country's weak tax system. 30 billion naira debt, NCAA beams safety searchlight on Aero. The Director General, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Dr. Harold Demuren, said the regulatory agency had begun focusing its safety searchlights on aero contractors' airlines. He said this had become imperative in the wake of the airline's crisis over an alleged 30 billion naira debt owed Oceanic Bank PLC. And now on sports, Leadership newspaper. Federal government approves 1.25 billion naira for Eagles. Nigeria's federal government has approved a total budget of 1.25 billion for the country's participation in the next month's World Cup in South Africa. While the Nigeria Football Federation will receive 900 million naira, their supervising government agency, the National Sports Commission, will get 350 million naira. Mandela receives World Cup. On Thursday, South Africa's first democratic president, Nelson Mandela, laid his hands on the FIFA World Cup trophy at Johannesburg's Nelson Mandela Foundation just 35 days before kickoff of Africa's first FIFA World Cup. For FIFA Secretary General Jerome Valk and Organizing Committee CEO Danny Jordan, it was a very special moment to personally share this moment. Next newspaper. Badminton team departs for Thomas Cup. The Nigerian team to the upcoming Badminton World Team Championships in Malaysia, the Thomas Cup, will depart Nigeria for the tournament today. The team, which consists of 6 players, will leave Abuja, where they have been training for the past month, along with some officials of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria. And that's all we can handle on this edition of Headlines Nigeria. Do have a lovely weekend. Thanks for logging on.